We got Chris Broussard back with us now. Broussard, do the Lakers need to avoid the play-in tournament to make a title run?
No, not at all. Not at all. Look, I get it. You don't want to be in the play-in because it's a March Madness one-and-done format, and anything can happen, especially when you're facing Steph Curry. Or, AD could re-aggravate the groin, or LeBron could re-aggravate the ankle in the game, and next thing you know, you've lost one game. Whether it would be, Golden State, or if you end up in the 9th or 10th, playing the 9th or 10th winner. That said, though, the Lakers, when they get through the play-in, which they will then face either Utah or Phoenix in the first round. And if I'm the Lakers, you don't fear anybody. And I'll give Brandon credit because he was one of the early ones to talk about Phoenix. Phoenix is a very nice squad. But you know what? They can't beat the Lakers in the playoffs. There is no way. They're too young. Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton aren't about to step into the playoffs for the first time and beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis if those two are on the floor for the Lakers. No way. So if I'm the Lakers, again, not fearing anybody, but I'd rather, if I had my druthers, face Utah or Phoenix in the first round than the Clippers. So this will work out for the Lakers. They can be in the play-in if they must and still make a nice run at the title. What they need is not a particular seed. It's not necessarily home court advantage. It is LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the court.
The last time LeBron James lost, a winner-take-all game was 2008. 2008. He was 23 years old. And by the way, he did in that game drop, I think, 45, 5, and 6 against Paul Pierce and the Celtics team that wanted to win the title. Since then, he has put together the best Game 7 resume of any player not named Bill Russell in NBA history. Why do I bring up Game 7s? Because that's what the play-in essentially is. Winner moves on, loser goes home. I know the first play-in, you don't actually go home, you go to another play-in, but you follow me. And what the play-in has different than Game 7s is, all those other Game 7s he's played, most of them have been against really good teams. The Spurs, who went on to win the title the next year. The Warriors, who had won the title the previous year. A Celtics team that I was told was really, really good. A couple mediocre Pacers teams mixed in there as well. And so we know LeBron will show up, and we know that the Lakers are not going to lose to Memphis and Golden State, or Golden State and San Antonio, or whatever the machination ends up being. So the real question is path. And I agree with Broussard entirely. I think LeBron is going to need a couple weeks to get fully amped up. So I don't want the first series to be against the Clippers, a Clippers team that has built their team on acquiring wings to slow down LeBron. I would much rather it be against Utah or Phoenix. So it's not only, Brandon, that the play-in doesn't scare me. If going into Sunday, the Clippers are locked into the 3 seed, which they might not be, but if they are, I will be rooting for the play-in. I think it is a better path to the finals for the Lakers because LeBron and AD might need some ramp-up time for a full series.
Yeah, but we're talking about nagging injuries, and we're talking about an older LeBron James. Everything you talked about, the history of LeBron James, that he was younger, Nick. And I'm not one that's saying LeBron James is done. I refuse to come on national TV and say LeBron James is done. He has a lot of basketball left in him. But when you get older, these nagging injuries tend to nag a little longer. We just saw him try to come back. He took off the time he thought he needed it, came back one game, and all of a sudden his ankle flared back up on him. So why would you want these guys carrying more minutes? LeBron James' ankle doesn't need a play-in game. AD's nagging body, nagging this, nagging that, doesn't need more minutes. So, yeah, they can go beat the Grizzlies or the Spurs. I'm not so sure about the Warriors and Steph Curry. I'm not sure about that. Wiggy playing better. Draymond Green, little baby triple-double. So the Warriors, I'll put my money on the Warriors if they match up Wilds in the play-in game. Not the Spurs, not the Grizzlies. But look, man, this team right here needs to get healthy. They don't need extra minutes, and this is a problem. They should be super concerned.
Of course they should. Of course they should. Broussard, you know as well as anybody that LeBron sees the whole court, not only 94 by 50, but the entire court. He's like looking around. He's like, you know what? How does this affect the league? How do the TV contracts affect the league? How does the All-Star affect the league? He sees everything and he does what's right for the game because he's a great ambassador of the game. And he wanted the person who invented the play-in game fired because he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play. He knows it'll be great TV. He knows it'll bring in more money. He knows with the pandemic they had to come up with different ideas. And he's like, you know what? Get that guy, Evan, out of here. See you later. Head to Starbucks, Evan. You're done. I don't want to play the Warriors. And I know it's just a one-game thing. Maybe it's Popovich. I don't know, the greatest basketball coach of all time. Maybe second best, thanks to Phil Jackson. Maybe third best, Red Auerbach. But still, I do not want to see, if I'm LeBron, I don't want to be in the play-in, and that's why I said I wanted the guy fired in the first place.
Are you, Wilds, are you suggesting that LeBron would tank the play-in? Are you suggesting that to show the league? Oh, okay.
No,
you know
God,
what I'm saying?
no.
It sounded like you were
saying
saying
he didn't want to do
would
it.
tank the play-in to show the league, hey,
No,
you
he
don't
just doesn't
need
want to
this.
do
You
it.
don't want your best.
He just doesn't want
but
unnecessary risk. No. That would be a high level.
But if he has to do it, which he will have to do it, they're going to be seventh, and they're going to play Golden State in that first game. And Brandon, I can't believe you. They're going to beat Golden State. I love Steph as much as anybody.
You tripping.
If LeBron and AD are out there, they're beating Golden State
What
in that
AD
game.
you gonna
And
get,
they're gonna
Chris?
play, they're
What
going
AD
to
are
play
you
your
gonna get?
Phoenix Suns. It don't matter.
No, don't move on to the
it's
Phoenix
Golden
Suns.
State with
No,
just
stay right
Steph.
here.
I like Wiggy as much as anybody, but come on. They're
I don't
not
love
beating
Wiggy.
LeBron
I'm
and
not
the
you.
Lakers.
Hold on. But a couple things.
And they're going to beat
'Cause
your
Broussard-
Phoenix Suns in the first round. That's how it's going to go down.
Broussard said a few things as definitive facts that I just want the audience to know are maybe more up in the air than Broussard. Like, Broussard seems more confident on a few things than I think is true. One is that the 8 seed is going to be Golden State. Golden State and Memphis play each other on Sunday. The winner is the 8, the loser is the 9. The idea that Golden State is locked in to being in the 7-8 part of the play-in, I totally disagree with. The other part is that the Lakers are definitively going to be in the play-in. If the Blazers lose to the Nuggets, which is incredibly possible, if not likely, then all the Lakers have to do is beat the Pacers and Pelicans, and they're the 6th seed. Now, I don't want them to be the 6th seed, and there's one extra reason. Because our buddy Kevin Wildes has been saying, oh, Nick, here's the other part of this. Michael Jordan never lost a play-in game. And I'm like, what? It was invented 6 weeks ago. And he's like, nope, legacy, Jordan never lost one. Look it up, Nick. Okay, so I will play that stupid game with you. What is the lowest seed to ever win the NBA championship? The answer is the 1995 Houston Rockets as a 6th seed. So when we're putting together the resume of the greatest player in league history, there's going to be a lot of things. Most points, there's going to be the top 3 in assists, there's going to be all the rings, beating a 73-win team, has won a championship as a 1 seed, has won a championship as a 2 seed. And oh, wait.
And?
Did LeBron James win a title with 0 home games? And the next year win a title as the lowest seed ever to win the title? Did he potentially have the hardest paths we've seen? He had a path to a title through a 73-win team. He had a path to a title through Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook. He had a path through a title during a pandemic with no home games. And then he had a path to a title where he had to win this goofy coin flip game, and then had to face the 2 seed, then the 3 seed, then the 1 seed, then the greatest collection of offensive talent ever, arguably in the Nets. Like, oh, that's a strong greatest player ever case. So, yeah, another reason, Broussard, I'd like them to be the 7 seed. I don't know why you look so
stop
perplexed.
the madness, Nick. Stop. Look, LeBron had all those uphill battles because he didn't dominate the league like Michael Jordan did. Jordan never even let anybody get to a Game 7 in the finals. So you can bring up all those Game 7s with LeBron because he had to go to Game 7. Mike dispersed of them much earlier. That's the difference. Stop it.
Yeah, that's right. No, listen, Broussard's right.
All right.
Mike never let any of his finals opponents get to a Game 7. He just let Charles Smith, Charles Oakley, and John Starks get to a Game 7, and Reggie Miller and Rick Smits get to a Game 7. That's it. Those dominant teams. I know. It was just before the finals.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.